This is the USF Diamond Dogs weekend review, and in fact, it's also the final installment of the 2012 Dons. Our season review will also have our weekend review for the week of Friday, May 25th through Sunday, May 27th. The San Francisco Dons winning 2 out of 3 in the final game of its three-game series against the St. Mary's Gales up in Moraga over in the East Bay over the weekend, this past weekend on Memorial Day weekend. The Dons dropping a 5-4 decision on Friday, but then they were able to win on 9-7 on Saturday, and then on Sunday, A-Bob threw probably the best game of the year. 4-0 was the final. The San Francisco Dons finished the 2012 season in third place. They finished in third place with a 14-10 record. They will finish both ahead of both Gonzaga and Loyola Marymount because they won the season series. The Dons, of course, swept Gonzaga back in April and took 2 out of 3 down in Southern California. So the Dons will finish third place, and they end up finishing 2 games out of first place behind the West Coast Conference champion Pepperdine Waves, who took 2 out of 3 from the 20th ranked San Diego Toreros over the weekend down in Malibu. And we're going to be talking about the season recap, what looks ahead for the 2013 San Francisco Dons. We're also going to talk a little college baseball regional with Nino Giarratano, just finishing his 14th season on the hilltop of your San Francisco Dons. And Coach, what's reset for the St. Mary's series?
Friday was a great game. Kyle let 4 runs get away. Just threw a couple pitches up. Other than that, he pitched great. And we're down 4-0. We close it to 4-2. We tie at 4-4, and then we kind of let the bottom of the ninth get away from us, or we got a chance to sweep. And I think when you look back on the year, winning 2 out of 3, winning all 3 from Santa Clara, finishing 5 out of 6 with wins. We lose 3 series on the year. We lose to San Diego, we lose to Pepperdine, who both finish ahead of us, and then we get swept at Portland. So really, when you look at it, those 7 losses are really what kept us out. We lost 70% of our games in 3 series right there. So if we get a win at Portland, if we switch the series between us and Pepperdine and win 2 out of 3, we're right where we want to be, and we win the conference. But it's that fine line right there where you can't start out 1-5 in the conference.
No, absolutely not.
And then we finished 13-5, so we really played good, over the last 18 games of the conference. But the first 6 we played awful.
And ended up finishing after losing at one stretch. Had lost 12 out of 15 after taking that series from UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. Then to lose after taking that series, ended up losing 12 out of 15. This next 15 after that stretch, end up winning 13 of your final 19 games overall.
Yeah, we didn't play good all year. We there was times where we pitched real good and we didn't hit, and there were times where we hit and we didn't play defense, and then there were times where we didn't pitch at the end of a game. So all in all, you look at that difference of 6 wins gets us into a regional. If we finish 35-25. We're in a regional, and if we finish 33-28, we're in a regional. So disappointed that we're not playing at the end of the season. Really happy how we played down the stretch. Really happy how we finished in third. You finish in third in this conference, as good as the conference was this year. I think that's a good showing.
And that's going to be another thing we want to discuss. Speculation, I think it's been confirmed that there will be a West Coast Conference tournament next year coming in through 2013, and that's going to be it's going to really even the playing field out. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think it's good for the conference. The top 4 teams get into the conference tournament and have a chance to play in postseason play, even if you don't get into a regional. So you guys really get to have that feeling, and then you turn around the next weekend and you play in a regional. So I think it's going to keep the conference sharp. I think it's really going to allow for the race of the conference like we had this year, the final 4 teams.
The wild West Coast Conference race.
If it comes down to 4 teams this year, Pepperdine and San Diego are in. We're in third place, and then, between Gonzaga and Loyola, it's whoever wins the tiebreaker there is the fourth place team, and very easily, Portland was right there, right behind them, so that they were close behind. So it was a six-team race at some point this year, and hopefully next year there's the same kind of race, and hopefully we're on top of that race.
Speculation: if they, assuming that they will have the tournament, a site will be determined on a later date.
Yeah, it'll be a neutral site. Maybe it'll be a school site, and then it'll rotate from place to place. But yeah, the tournament is set for next year, and then the following year, Pacific comes into our conference, and it
That's
turns
right.
into a 10-team conference.
I mean, then as you have the whole even 10, if you add with the odd number to even number, so it's five, the top four teams, and then it's or five teams top, the other five in the are bringing up the rear. So, with that said, well, now let's just talk about some of the your thoughts. Talk of your thoughts about Kyle Zimmer, who finished the season he finishes the season 5-3, 2.85 ERA, 81 or 88.1 third innings pitched, 104 strikeouts, 17 walks, 104 to 17 strikeout ratio. Held his hitters a batting average to 230. A Bob 8-4, 218 ERA leads the team, 66 to 12 strikeout ratio. Alex Baylog 4-4, 3.43 ERA. He had 57 strikeouts, but he had out of three had 31 walks. He held his hitters to only a buck 81. As a whole staff, they held ERA 3.25, over 500 innings pitched with 515 1/3 innings pitched, 461 strikeouts to 164 walks. Held opponent's batting average to 240. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I thought we really pitched. I thought Kyle really. You look at his numbers; he's 5-3 with a 2.80 ERA. If he gets any run support at all, he's 7-1. Possibility that he's 8-1. Could be 9-1.
10, even 10-1.
Yeah, could be very easily. But we didn't give him enough run support. In my mind, he loses at Portland 2-1, and he doesn't give up an earned run, and he loses to San Diego early in the year, which is the game we should have won, and the only game he really gets gets beat.
That one game against San Diego, that was the difference, because if you win that game and let's say you get a win against Pepperdine, we're not even having this conversation. We're getting ready right now, possibly be heading down on the farm playing Stanford Friday night, playing in the Stanford Regional Friday night. That's where we've probably been projected to go.
Yeah, when you look at it, the pitching, the way we struck guys out and held opposing hitters, this is a better team than what it looks. I think when you look on paper, you'll look at, we led the conference in fielding percentage again, and everyone said we were playing bad defense, but we made 18 errors in 24 games in conference, which is really good. When you look at that, and then you look at us, what we hit in conference, we were fourth in the conference in hitting, we were third in the conference in pitching. So it's kind of hard to look at that, how you could play such good defense, finish in the top 3 or 4 in both categories, and you still finish third in the conference. So we just couldn't win. We couldn't win when we needed to, and that's why we're 14-10, and we're not 17-7.
And also, looking at it now, let's go on the offensive side. The team batted only 266, but the one big player that swung a really good hot bat down the stretch was senior first baseman Nick Baylog. He finishes the season, as we're taking a look at it, Nick Baylog 302 and 202 at bats, and he had a very strong finish. He had a 460 slugging finish, but the big grand slam on Saturday against St. Mary's.
Yeah, he's good at bat against St. Mary's to get his RBIs. I think he had 40 RBIs again, which is great. You could always look at that 260 batting average and say we didn't hit enough, but I think the last month of the season we might have hit 350 or 360 as a team. So we were as hot as anybody at the right time. We just couldn't get enough wins to get into postseason play. I think Nick might have hit 398 over the last month. Jason Mahood hit 380 over the last month. There were 5 guys in the high 350s, 370s the last month of the season. So we were right where we wanted to be. Maybe we were just one guy in that lineup away from driving in runs from winning a lot of games.
I totally agree with that. And now, with that being said, now we're going to look as we close 2012. Now we're going to look towards 2013. There's going to be a lot of holes going to be filled. 10 seniors, including, and not in addition to possibly losing Kyle Zimmer, which is pretty much all but guaranteed. Elliot Waterman, and a junior college transfer from the College of San Mateo, Justin LaFay.
Yeah, it's going to be tough if we lose all 10 of those seniors and we lose those 3 juniors. We're going to lose 13 players off of this year's team. That's going to be tough to replace, but we feel like Mahout's coming back to play second base, and Bradley Zimmer's had enough experience out there. If Maffei comes back, it really strengthens us. We're also looking at Hendricks, who got a lot of time. And then we had some freshman guys that, Christian Cecilio and
Tyler Schultz.
Tyler didn't play much, but Sheldon Lee saw a lot of time. We got 2 left-handed freshman pitchers, so I think we're still going to have enough experience to go into that conference and be competitive.
I think that's good, because if you get into the conference tournament, then anything can happen, because all you have to do is win your conference tournament, then you're guaranteed the automatic berth. That's all you can control, because, college baseball, and I was, when I was, and Mark Marquez at Stanford was saying it the other day at the interview, parity is so thin, and, you never know what happens in college baseball, and that's been an example of that.
Yeah, I think you could take a poll all the way across the country. I'm sure there was no one in the country that wanted to see us get into the NCAA regional and play them in the first round. And I think the same is true when we look at a conference tournament. The way we've been playing at the end of the season the last few years, and there's not many teams that are excited about playing us at the end of the season.
If I would have took some of these losses, I would trade some of those bad losses we had. And you look at the teams like Missouri end up winning the Big 12 tournament, and they got in, and as a result of that, they got the automatic berth. Fresno State was able to turn their season around, salvage it, beat Sac State in the WAC tournament, because the winner of that tournament was going to get in, and they're going to face Stanford. That's going to be an intriguing matchup on Friday when Mark Appel faces Fresno State, who his only loss of the year was against the Fresno State Bulldogs from the Western Athletic Conference, known as the WAC.
Yeah, I think that'll be an interesting matchup. And Fresno didn't play good early. They didn't play good in the middle. They just start playing good probably the last 8 or 9 games, and they were able to turn it around. So it's another reason why the conference tournament's going to be great.
Yeah, and also as we're going to take this brief timeout, because we're going to have do a part 2 of our season in recap. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what looms ahead for the 2013 USF Dons, and who's going to be the new players coming in, and we'll have some predictions of the NCAA tournament and my final thoughts, and so much more. This is Bay Area Sports Weekly, USF Diamond Dons season 2012 season in review on BayAreaSportsWeekly.com.